Right, should we go to the phone lines? 03717223344. We're asking a ridiculous question about
You think it's that ridiculous?
By the way, someone corrected both of us about Fergie getting
got to four Champions Leagues.
Yeah, but only one, two of them. You're asking a ridiculous question. In their prime, Fergie or Klopp? It's utter madness. Lee's a Newcastle fan. Hello, Lee.
Hello, gents. You all right?
I'm good. I'm very well. How are you? What are you up to today? What are you doing, Lee?
Just coming back from work, mate. Just on the way. I coach a under-11s team, so I'm just on my way there.
Nice.
How'd they get on today? Or last weekend, I should say.
Didn't have a game that got called off last weekend.
Oh, why? Why is a game getting called off at their level?
Normally it's because I think his parents can't be bothered to get up on a Sunday morning, so they say that the kiddies can't make it.
Right.
So any excuse. But yeah, so it's normally that, or he's normally not got enough players or something
that's
like
a
that.
shame. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you successful? Have you won any titles or anything, Lee?
No, mate, no.
Right.
They enjoy it, and that's the main thing.
That is the most important thing.
Have you got the next Paul Gascoigne there?
You never know. Maybe there's a couple of good players, to be fair, that probably could play a better standard, but they play where they are because they're with mates and stuff.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. Go on then, Lee. What have you phoned up to say?
Oh, I think it's an insult to Fergie to even compare the two.
Yeah, I agree.
I just, don't get me wrong, Klopp is a great manager, but Fergie's a legend of the Premier League, and I just, there's no comparison. Don't get me wrong, Klopp should win more trophies, but I still don't think he'll get anywhere near what Fergie's achieved. I just don't. I think with the squads that Fergie rebuilt as well, he went on for years and years changing players and was still successful. And I would put Mourinho above Klopp as well.
Listen, that's a fair point. I know Mourinho didn't win the Champions League with Chelsea, but he came over. He did win trophies. But what does someone have to do then to kind of even get close to Fergie in your eyes?
I don't think we'll ever get a manager for 20 odd years in the Premier League again, and I think that's one of the biggest things that he changed his team, his squad constantly, and was still successful. I honestly don't think anyone will achieve what he achieved in the game. I really don't.
So just say, for instance, I'll give you an example. Pep, I think this could be his 4th Premier League title, I think. But just say he went on for a few more years, 7 Premier League titles and 3 Champions Leagues. He's still not in the conversation. Or even if Klopp, because it's a little bit disrespectful to Klopp, if he went on and won 4 Premier Leagues and a couple of Champions Leagues, still no?
I think them two will get the closest to him at the minute. I think they're the only two you can talk about. But no, I honestly don't. I love Pep as a manager as well. I love the football that Man City play, but I just think Fergie is a cut above everyone. I don't think you'll ever get another manager like him and what he achieved. I really don't. And that's why a lot of people hate Man U. It's because of how good he was. And how much they used to win and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but before you guys cut me off, I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but honestly, I love your two show. I think it's amazing. I listen every day.
How nice is that, Lee?
Thank you for making my drive home a little bit better.
Oh, that's great. That's very kind. Go on, I'll tell you what, on the back of that, give your little football team a shout out. What are they called, Lee?
It's Gedling South Bank in Nottingham.
Okay, everyone look out for them. They're on the up. Thanks for coming on, Lee. Have a lovely afternoon.
Cheers, gents. Take care. Bye-bye.
How nice. That was nice.
Do you know what, I've got to give someone a shout out because he said it. Listen, the geezer corrected us, and he put, yes, I did correct you. At least shout me out. Sean from Manchester. It cost 50p a go, this. Sean, we apologise, mate. Thanks for the information.
Well done, Sean.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no one likes us smart. Nathan's up next. Hello, Nathan. Oh, Nathan's gone. Boop. He's gone. Off he goes. Let's try Glenn. He's a Spurs fan. Hello, Glenn.
Yeah, no, evening, boys. How are we?
Glenn, as a Spurs fan, you must have been named after Glenn Hoddle. You must have been.
No, I hate to tell you what I was named after. I was actually apparently named after Glenn Campbell, the country and western singer, for my sins.
Why? Why? Your mum was obviously a fan.
My mum was obviously a fan, yes. I'd prefer to be named after Glenn Hoddle, if I'm honest, but there we go.
Next time someone asks you that, just say, yes, it was Glenn Hoddle.
Yes, it was Glenn Hoddle.
Excellent answer. Go on then, Glenn, what are you phone up to say?
Well, my point is, okay, there is no debate. It's got to be Ferguson, surely. And the other thing that people seem to forget, that during the 90s, when Fergie was in his pomp at United, when they played in Europe, they was only allowed a maximum, I believe it was 4 European players. All the other players had to be homegrown.
Yeah.
So he actually never played his strongest team in Europe.
Yeah.
If he had the pick of his full squad during Europe, he'd have probably won more than 2 Champions League titles.
Yeah, there was a game where we played Barcelona at the Nou Camp and he dropped Schmeichel.
That's right, yeah, because he couldn't field him because he had to try and he picked an outfield player.
It was nuts.
So he did. So it's nuts. So he didn't have the best goalkeeper in the world at the Nou Camp.
So do you know what? Sorry, Glenn. A lot of people are talking about on there. Certainly, you look at Klopp. He's not been there that long, but then you look at Fergie's first period at Manchester United. Obviously, Klopp's got off to a better start. Would you say that he started with a better team than maybe Fergie got to start with back then when he came?
100%. 100% he's got a better team. Definitely. I don't think you can't argue with that. If you look at United team from, was it 1986, you wouldn't say that was a great side. I think you'd agree with that. Let's be honest about it.
They were a cup when Fergie took over. They'd won the FA Cup in 83 and 85, so they were used to silverware.
They were used to silverware, but Brian Robson was the star player.
Yeah.
He was quite often injured. And you look at the team that he inherited at Liverpool. Was it Brendan Rodgers, I believe? Was it Brendan Rodgers?
Yeah, I think so.
It was a stronger side, let's be honest about it. They already had some world-class stars playing for him. And he's just filled in the gaps where he needed to, like brought in Van Dijk, obviously given the money to spend on him. And obviously, can't argue he's not built a great team.
Glenn, it pains me to do this, right? But I will say that the Liverpool side that Klopp took over was appalling. It was absolutely appalling.
Didn't you finish? Yeah, but you think you finished second to Chelsea, didn't you? One season.
Who?
Liverpool.
Well, Coutinho. I know Coutinho was probably the one standout player that they had at the time.
Gerrard.
Oh, yeah, of course, Stevie G would have been there. Of course, Stevie would have been there. But I mean, when you start looking at player for player, I don't know if appalling. I don't know if I'd call it appalling, Andy. I'd say they weren't.
It wasn't. They could have been appalling to finish in the Champions League on a regular basis. Let's be honest about it.
Oh, trust me, you should have seen a couple of the Arsenal teams that Wenger managed to finish certainly late on in fourth spot.
Yeah, but no, I do think that the Premier League. Let's be honest about it. It probably wasn't as strong back then. Let's be honest about it. You didn't have the tough games you do have now on a regular basis. I've got
Liverpool's first lineup, right? Origi up top, Milner, Coutinho, Lallana, Emre Can and Lucas. I can't even read this, my eyes are going so bad. Skirtle's in there, Klein, Mignolet, Moreno. I can't even read that one. It wasn't a great side. Listen, it's close actually. I thought it was worse than that. It was close. But United had a good side when he took over. I hear what you're saying. But either way, the answer is, of course, Sir Alex Ferguson, Glenn.
It is. As you say, it is the most ridiculous question I think I've ever heard on talkSPORT.
Oh, it's not mine. It's Producer Joe's. Do you want to tell that to Producer Joe? Just tell Producer Joe now.
Yeah, Joe, that is the most ridiculous question I've ever heard on talkSPORT.
There you go. He said...
It's almost as ridiculous as will Spurs win at Liverpool on Saturday.
I've got to draw that. I reckon draw.
You reckon? Some guy at work offered me £100 bet, and he said, "I'll give you the draw as well." Well, I said, "Do you honestly think I'm mad?"
I don't know. I think there's Spurs. Never write Spurs off
not with that front three.
Yeah,
not with that front three.
You got to listen. We saw what he did at Man City, right?
Yeah, I know. It's 90 minutes. It's only one game of football, but let's be honest. At Anfield, with our record and everything else, can you honestly see us getting a result? Because I can't.
A result. Thanks for your call, Glenn. A result would be a draw, wouldn't it?
Do you know what someone said here, and it's a great shout. I think the fact that Klopp isn't facing the such as Drogba, Lampard, Shearer, Henry, Rooney, Van Persie, Tevez, Costa.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, tough.
That Spurs game, by the way, Saturday evening, 7:00, right? You know that?
Okay, yeah.
Why is it 7:00 on a Saturday night? Do you know?
I have no idea. But that is what you call blockbuster. That.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. My
missus going out. She said, "You all right? Do you want?" And I was like, "I'm fine. You go out, take the kids. I'll stay with the dog, watch the football." Amazing.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching that.
Oh, it'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.